We are live.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Gamers Realm Podcast. I'll be your moderator today, the QA Ninja. Here we have Black Pokemon Trainer joining us, Mr. Switch, of course, Retro Stylz, and we have a very special guest today, Lizzy the Hedgehog. Lizzy the Hedgehog, welcome aboard, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and hang out tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We got a Sega night today. Got my
Mhm.
Sonic hat, my Sonic shirt to celebrate. Retro Stylz, you got your little Sonic gear on today.
Yeah.
And of course, Lizzy the
Yes,
Hedgehog,
sir.
all decked out, ready to rock and roll. Welcome aboard.
Hi.
Thanks for being here and for the time and everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a full lineup of Sega related topics and some other fun stuff to talk about. But
Mhm.
before we get into all that, we always want to start the broadcast with asking our special guests some questions. So if you can kind of go over some of your gaming background, and of course the most important question, do you have a favorite game of all time, and what would that be?
Okay. So where should I start?
The ball's in your court.
Let's see. Okay. My first gaming game. My first game was not Sonic the Hedgehog. Believe it or not, it was not Sonic.
Hmm.
Many moons ago, there was okay. Now I don't know if it was one of those Chinatown controllers or whatever it was, but you know that ping pong thing?
Oh,
That was
Pong.
my very first one. But every dial people show me, that's not it. I don't know where it came from, but this guy, when I was a little girl, he thought I was really cute, and he asked my dad if he could give me a present. My dad was like, "Okay." So he gave me these two controllers to hook up on my TV, but it was Pong. But that was my very first game. So sorry, it was not Sonic. After that, my dad bought me the NES. So my first games were Super Mario Brothers with Duck Hunt,
Nice, nice.
To the Earth, Red Racer, and then whatever I rented in the video store back in the day when there used to be video stores. And that was actually my first game. I didn't discover Sonic until later,
Yeah.
but the ping pong game was the first game. Does that answer that question for
Oh
the
yeah,
first
for
gaming?
sure.
Okay, sorry. I was like,
No problem at all. And do you have a favorite game of all time?
favorite game of all time. Let's see. Going from the Sega era, I would have to say Sonic Spinball.
Oh,
Even though people don't like Sonic Spinball, I found it very
that's a great
challenging.
game. Yeah, for
It
sure.
is. It is because all your focus has to go in this game. You can't even blink. You can't even breathe when you're hitting the controllers and you're doing your best desperately to keep Sonic from falling down the hole. That to me was the best game. It was challenging. It got my attention. I stayed focused. I didn't
Yeah,
breathe. I didn't blink until I finished the level. But I loved it. That was the all-time favorite Sonic game for me on the Sega Genesis era.
cool.
So I loved it. I mean that game made me happy. I
Yeah.
mean, I love the other Genesis era games except for Sonic 3D Blast. I hate Sonic 3D Blast. I can't take those stupid flicky birds because every time I would get four of them, something would hit me and then they
3D
would go
Blast
flying
was,
off.
yeah, I
Yeah, and
agree.
you had to go
Wasn't crazy
find them
about it.
again. So
Yeah.
But that
that
game's cool. That game's cool. Come
no,
on.
Retro. It's
I
kind
love
of
no,
that
like
I didn't
game.
like it.
it's like the dark horse of like the 16-bit era when it comes down to Sonic. It's always like the last one people like the 3D Blast. I mean, it wasn't too bad. They also made an attempt. They made it for the Sega Saturn,
Hmm.
just to kind of have an excuse to have a Sonic 3D game out on the
Hmm.
platform. Um, but yeah, I mean, for me, my favorite game of all time is Sonic 2. Like I've
Yes.
beaten it. The first game I ever beaten. I played that game. I play that game a million times, and it just takes me back like so much to me. So many great memories with that game. So, Sonic 2 was always my favorite. Like of course, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, great
Hmm.
games.
The longer games, those are
Hmm.
fun. I think the hardest thing on Sonic 2 was once you reach Wing Fortress Zone.
Yeah.
I don't know whose stupid idea in Sonic 2 was to stick a skateboard there once you jump off the plane. But if you're not careful and you hit that skateboard, it throws you.
Yeah,
And if
for
you
sure.
miss, you either crash into the propellers and
Yeah,
die,
yeah.
or you get thrown off the cliff.
Gotta love that little subtle video game violence there.
Yes, that was crazy.
Take that, Mario. Take that. Good stuff.
That
Good
was
stuff.
fun.
Yeah, well, we got a full night ahead. It's also we're celebrating Sega 60th anniversary, which is
Yes.
mind-boggling. To be honest, I didn't know they've been around that long. I thought they started with the Master System back in the 80s, but I guess I was
Mhm.
wrong.
Yes. Did you know they're also releasing all these cute little plushies?
Oh, that's
Like,
pretty
Oh,
awesome.
those are nice.
That's
This-
actually really sweet.
this is a 12-inch one, but you can tell like on the tags. The tags say 60 Sonic. I thought it said Go Sonic, but Go Sega? No, that's 60 Sega.
Oh,
So this is the 12-inch, and this big fat pop of a head is the 18-inch.
oh, that's so sweet. That is
So
sweet.
this is called Sticker Bomb Sonic. You can find them on eBay and maybe Amazon. But it's pretty cool.
That is
I'm gonna have to-
cool.
I'm gonna actually look for that tonight. When we get off, I'm gonna be shopping for that.
And there's two of them. There's 12-inch and 18-inch.
Cool.
What did they
cool.
run on there, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it depends on the seller. If they're good sellers or they're buttheads and they're charging $60, but you're gonna pay for it because I think they're from Toy Factory, but it depends on the seller. But you can probably get better deals with them on eBay. I've seen them only on eBay. I haven't seen them on Amazon. I don't know if they're selling them anywhere else, but they are mostly on eBay. Or if you want, you can go to Facebook Marketplace, and you may find them there too. But yeah, just remember, this is the 12-inch, and the other one I showed you is an 18-inch. So
And
there's two.
that thing is so pimp. I'm actually looking at it right now on eBay.
Those
It
are
is
cool.
So beautiful.
They are.
My God, I have to get one. That's so cool.
Oh, speaking of, something cool related to the Sonic movie. No one has this, not that I know of, because I haven't seen them on Amazon. I haven't seen them on eBay. I think I'm the only fan in the world probably has it. But remember that T-shirt that was given to AMC?
Oh, that looks sweet.
That's pimp. Yeah, that's pretty
That
pimp.
is awesome.
They were ordered by Paramount and by AMC to throw them away. You know, like about a week after the promo, they had to be destroyed. Well, I was sweet and crying basically to the manager, and I said, I really want one. I'm a big collector. You don't understand. I was dressed like not in this costume, but you know, the cute little hair and the cute ears, and I was like, please, I love Sonic. He means a lot to me. And the guy was like, we have to destroy him. Paramount said that AMC has to destroy those. And we're like, why would you destroy him? What the heck, man? Give him to the
for
fans.
sure.
The fans would love him more than you guys. And the man, the man looked at me like he was trying not to laugh at me, but he was like, okay, hold on a minute. So he brought me that huge movie poster, not that one, but you know, the big giant one that they actually roll into the glass cases.
Yeah.
He gave me one of those, and then he's like, look inside, and it was one of those T-shirts.
Oh,
How cool is that?
wow.
He had to hide it because you know, AMC couldn't know. But I mean, if AMC's watching, ha, I got one, and you can't stop me.
It's kind of crazy because that was February 14th. That was like the last movie I've seen in the theater before the whole country shut down.
Yes, I saw it like 15 times. Every movie theater to get the promo posters.
Yeah.
And to get that Sonic Boom Train. I went to all the theaters. I was in costume. People knew when I came. They go, yeah, that's that Sonic girl, isn't it? Is that like Mrs. Sonic or something? Like, yeah. So I had to get all the posters. I mean, I got all the promo posters. They're just rolled up somewhere in the room. Yeah. But that T-shirt is super special because I checked on eBay. They're nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Apparently,
from what AMC Theater said, is Paramount told them all of them had to be destroyed.
Wow.
But
that's
apparently there
valuable.
are some people who kept theirs, who worked there, who kept theirs, and they're wearing them. But other than that, they had to be destroyed. So luckily that movie manager guy was nice enough to say, you know, she really loves Sonic. So if Paramount ever came to him and goes, why'd you do that? They'd be like, did you see that girl? Did you see her room? Would you tell her now? They'd probably be like, no, you're probably right.
Yeah. Well,
Do you have pictures on deck for situations like that? Like, hey, look, this is my room. I'm a real
I do
fangirl.
on my phone. I have pictures in my room. Like I'm probably gonna take a picture of all this later.
Yeah.
And like that way I can show it to like whenever like I go to the movie theaters or promotional stuff like that and tell them like I'm a big fan, means a lot to me. And you know, usually they're like, oh my gosh, that's just too cool. And then you know, I'm like 4'11", so like when there's a big tall man above me, he's like, she's gonna start crying, isn't she? And I can't I can't take this.
That's hilarious. I mean, since we are on the topic of the Sonic movie, we already know that the news hit about Sonic 2, which we kind of, have we all seen the movie before I go?
I have.
We've all seen the movie here.
Yeah, seen
I
the
have
movie for
several
sure.
All
times.
of us.
I've got all of them on DVD. All of them.
I mean, since we've all seen it, no need for no worry about spoilers. Then, I mean, at the end of the movie, when we knew that part 2 was going to be obviously coming out, they alluded to it. The news hit more officially now. We know about Tails and Knuckles joining. Looks like, which I'm super pumped about. Knuckles probably being my favorite out of the bunch, believe it or not, even though Sonic is my other favorite character.
Mhm.
What was everyone's thoughts about part 1? Because video game movies have been notorious for being crappy, honestly. If anyone's seen like Mortal Kombat Part 2 or Street Fighter or even the original Mario movie,
Oh gosh.
absolutely like laughable. It was terrible. What was everybody's thoughts about the Sonic movie and how they kind of went about it this time?
Before they made the changes, I wasn't sure what to think because when I first saw, you know, the original trailer with the Gremlin version, I sat there thinking, I love you, Sonic.
I know what you're gonna say.
You are scaring me because these little gremlin-looking hands, and he's probably as tall as me, which kind of creeped me out because I'm kind of used to Sonic probably being like to here level, but that thing scared me because it was like human legs. It had no real tail. I tried my best with all my heart to say, I still love you. I'm going to watch this movie, but you're scaring the heck out of me because it didn't have any emotion on the face. Like I've seen the comparison from the new design when Sonic has the emotion versus that thing. And I'm like, if that thing was sitting next to me, I probably would have slapped it. Will you smile? Do something. You just sit there with a blank stare on your face. Like
video game nightmare. Yeah.
It was. But then they made all the changes.
Yeah.
Just
Looked
imagine.
like an alien, honestly.
Just imagine that version of Sonic, the original version from the Sonic movies. You know, you're just sleeping, chilling in your bed, getting ready to go to bed, and out of nowhere, from up under your bed, he just grabs your leg and takes you to this underground world.
Oh, that's just awful.
They had the little plushie.
Oh,
they released the baby plushie.
Hey, that when you said that, Black Pokemon Trainer, it reminded me of, remember that movie Little Monsters with Howie Mandel, where they reach up and they take you? Whoosh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's Sonic right there.
Oh my God. There's just, thing is, so in terms of the movie, I mean, it just, when I first saw the original release, there was like almost like a huge backlash. There was like petitions signed to change the character or change it around. So like even like all the big YouTubers were like covering like, you know, oh my God, like, you know, this is like an alien, there's a monster out of Nightmare. And then when Sega went ahead and changed it and they kind of revamped everything to make it look more Sonic-y, if you will.
Sonic-y.
It just really speaks to how Sega was like listening to the fans and doing things the right way, because I'm sorry, there has not been, aside from like maybe like Mortal Kombat 1, there has not been a really successful video game adaptation. So for them to do that and knock it out the park, I mean, aside, even though the you know theaters are shut down, that movie would have probably been #1 anyway for the whole year. Like that's how successful it was. You know, setting a lot of records. So, I mean, you know, it's just it was just fun. I mean, I saw it 3 times, so don't mind me. But I saw
Well,
it 3 times.
just keeping it real, in the
Uh-huh.
90s, there was no social media presence. So the fact that social media had such a big impact on the remake of the Sonic movie and how the fans interacted on social media about it really changed the course of the movie. And if we didn't have such a strong social media presence, I believe we'd have been stuck with something like we did with Super Mario Bros. And I believe if the Super Mario Bros were made now, there would have been some drastic changes to the movie and it would have been a lot more successful.
I
Oh
tell you,
yeah, I believe it.
absolutely. And to Retro's point, I guarantee you, when this is all said and done, now that Nintendo's seeing what Sega did and what they were able to pull off, I wouldn't doubt that they would revisit a Mario movie and do it the right way. I wouldn't doubt it.
They're doing an
Well,
animated one, so I don't
yeah.
know if that's going to be any different, but I saw like little clips of it online. So they're
Mhm.
revisiting an animated version. So I don't know if they'll do like a live action. Who knows? They could.
Yeah.
But see, the only problem is, and I don't want it to sound mean, but I don't understand the propulsion sizes. Peach is like what, 7 foot tall? I don't. I think Mario's taller than me, which is kind of insulting because I'm 4'11", which means he's way taller than me, according to stuff online.
Well, they are
But-
definitely lying.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the proportions of Mario do. I mean, you would have to get a man that looks short and chubby, big nose, and
Danny
all that
DeVito?
stuff.
That's me.
That's it. That would be
That's
Danny DeVito. If you guys know Danny DeVito is like 4'11".
Oh, he's my height.
He would be a perfect Mario.
yeah.
You know
Oh,
who else
dude,
would
for
be
sure.
at my height? Spoiler alert, people. Optimus Prime. He's my height. The original Optimus Prime. Peter Cullen, big tough guy. He's my height.
All right, guys. So I have this: Danny DeVito as Mario, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Luigi.
Oh.
I'm cool with that though. I prefer
The
Luigi
Rock
over
would
Mario
have to be
anyway.
Bowser.
It's interesting that you said that Black Pokemon Trainer because remember the movie Twins? Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so they were a duo right there too.
I remember that actually.
Yeah.
It'd be a
Back
movie
in the-
reunion.
Funny.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it was a really fun movie. It really showed that Sega was listening to their fans. They
Mhm.
knew what they were doing when they put Jim Carrey in there, and Jim Carrey just like at first I was kind of questioning, well, man, would he really make a good Eggman there? And I'm like, I'm not sure, but he just knocked it out the park, and he made it a lot of fun, brought a lot of energy into it. It was
He
just,
made his own version, which is just
absolutely
perfect.
Yeah, and in the second part where like in the second adaptation where he's like shaving his head bald and he's got the little poofy hair on the sides. I'm like, oh my god, it's look more closely like the video game way that we remember. It's gonna be. I can't wait. I'm sure. I think it's probably gonna come out next year. Part 2, I believe, maybe next year.
It's
Hopefully.
really cool how they picked Jim Carrey because he has a way like he made a really big comeback in the entertainment industry. He kind of dipped off and made like independent YouTube movies, and then he made a comeback with Sonic, and it's really cool how he just came back and just stormed the box office again. Jim Carrey has a way of just coming in. Any type of movie he does, I don't know. I like Jim Carrey. I've always been a Jim Carrey fan, but he came in, stormed the Sonic movie, and I believe like that was one of the deciding factors because I was like with UQA, I was like, I don't know, Jim Carrey, he's more like a comedic actor, but then I thought I finally saw the movie and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Jim Carrey really took it to the next level.
Yeah, that was my biggest concern as well, is the performance of how Jim Carrey would be, just based on his personality and based on what we've seen in a bunch of other of his past movies, TV shows, so on and so forth. And comparing it to what I'm used to seeing as Dr. Robotnik now, let me tell you, a lot of that comes from Sonic Adventure 1, 2, so on and so forth. And I think it was a nice change because Dr. Robotnik in like the video games is a little bit more serious than what we got in the Sonic movie, and I think that was something that was much needed because it needed to go along with Sonic as well because Sonic was also more serious in his video games than he was in this movie. So I think it was really refreshing. I think when they went off page, they did a really good job, which is not seen in a lot of video game movies. So like I was thoroughly impressed overall.
Yes, I was too. I like how they added the adult jokes because I mean, for us Sonic fans who are older than 18, you know they had to put jokes in there for the adult fans when their little kids are watching because there were some jokes that went over the kids' heads, but we laughed at it. Like when Dr. Robotnik goes, "Look what came out of my egg sack." You're like,
Oh,
I did notice that the jokes were really, really good, and it made me laugh so hard. And I had to go back to the theaters for a second time just for a lot of that too. Again, Jim Carrey was just amazing. The whole movie was amazing. It was probably the best thing I've seen in a gaming movie in such a long time. Just kind of, as much as I love Mario Bros and all that stuff, Sonic is my favorite gaming movie right now. So that's a lot to say right there. But yeah, great movie.
it beat everybody. I mean, I feel bad for the other movies, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of think it was meant for Sonic to have this. I mean, all the other movies, yeah, y'all did good, but I think this was Sonic's moment. Sonic deserved it because this is the movie we've all been waiting for many, many, many years. And Sonic deserves every moment he got. And I'm very jealous of Brazil and Spain and all the other countries that got all those awesome things, like those huge, like display. I'm like, dang, I wish I could have gone over there to visit.
I'm gonna take it a step. I'm gonna take it a step further and say that the Sonic movie is probably the best video game movie of all time, and I'm also including movies such as Final Fantasy, Advent Children, and like things that were made by the actual video game companies. I'm gonna say that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is far beyond that as well, and it was just I love it. It was just a great movie. Sorry.
Yeah, I actually agree. Up until that point, I think the most successful box office movie for anything video game related was Mortal Kombat Part 1. I think that came out like maybe like in 96 or something, but like Part 2 of Mortal Kombat, I think it was called Mortal Kombat Annihilation, was a complete bust. It was a total dud. And then there was Street Fighter. A lot of people don't even remember the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And that movie was just awful. It was just
Bison was the best.
Bison, So I mean, for Sega, they had to do it right. They had to. It was a lot of pressure.
Let's see. So, what do y'all do next?
Oh, we got plenty more topics here. I mean, since we're on the topic of current Sega, happy 60th anniversary, Sega.
Yes.
Another big win for Sega as of recent was the Sega Genesis mini console, which of course I have. Of course I have it.
I have two.
It's awesome. So what's great about that is another reason that shows that Sega was listening to their fans, listening to the community, and really respecting the legacy of Sega was the Sega Genesis Mini. Up until that point, obviously, everybody knows about the Super Nintendo Classic and the Nintendo Classic, huge hits. I have both of those also. They were great. And then when the PlayStation Classic came out, which was a bust, commercially just didn't do well, or they didn't include the right games. They didn't listen to their fans, nothing. It was showing that it was kind of like a ploy just to get money, a cash grab, if you will. Sega, kind of took the opportunity. Well, let's do it right again. So, everything they did with the Sega Genesis Mini, and I'm not trying to be biased, but in my opinion, it's also the best, most complete mini console out of the ones, I have them all, including the PlayStation Classic. I also feel like that one was the most successful. Like they really just went all out with the Sega Genesis Mini, the box art, everything. There's very little that needs to be said about it. It did very well commercially. It really it made fans really miss like Sega Genesis hardware, and it was produced in-house by Sega Genesis. So I think that made it more special that they really put the extra effort into it this time around. And a lot of people may or may not know, but there was older Sega Classic consoles called Sega At Games, and they weren't as successful. They were kind of like bad quality.
Oh, yeah, those ones were terrible.
Yeah, you can get them.
I have them.
Oh, do you? The At Games? Yeah, you can.
But they're just display. They're just for display.
Yeah, compared to the Mini Classic that's out now, it's world of good quality difference. So, obviously I was super pumped to, cover that too. As one of my first ever YouTube videos was like doing a review on the Classic, which I thought was like super neat. So, it shows that Sega really is listening boy, would they be able to do another console? I don't know. They kind of seem like they've given their IPs away to Nintendo and to other places where they can play. So Sonic wouldn't be like necessarily exclusive anymore. So I don't know how much they can. I don't know. You guys want to talk about that? Do you guys think Sega should rejoin that hardware business and come out with another console and try it out one more time?
I think the minis would be fine. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, the Genesis Mini, the Dreamcast Mini. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I can see that selling out. My only thing is I don't want to deal with all those scalpers buying them all and be like, oh, you're gonna pay my price. Like, no, I'm not. But I wouldn't mind seeing those. I mean,
Yeah, the
I don't know
classics.
how you would do the Sega Saturn Mini, but Dreamcast Mini would be awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely do that. As their own console, I don't know. I mean, I love Sega. I grew up with them. I have all the consoles, and in fact, funny thing about me, my Wii U are black to honor the Sega Genesis. I never got the other colors. I got specifically they have the black ones and the black controllers to honor the Sega Genesis.
There you go.
I would think, I guess the way I feel, I would like to see if Sega gave themselves a chance to do it. I'm sure they would do all the things they need to do to make sure they do it right. So, I mean, if they did, that would be freaking awesome, and I would buy it if they did. But yeah, I think they should try. You never know. You never know if everything happening the way it is now. I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, to Lizzie's point too, the Sega Saturn, which I would imagine would have been the next in line for mini consoles. There's definitely a decent community now that I know of in the back end that is like just itching for a Saturn Mini. The problem with the Saturn, you know, as I've covered too in my channel, is they're so difficult to emulate because of the architecture, the advanced architecture, the 8-core processors in the Saturn itself. It's kind of worked against the Saturn, which made it hard to develop for, which is one of the issues that Saturn had in terms of growing commercially. Because of that, you know, obviously you can emulate PlayStation with no problem. And a Raspberry Pi, you know, here's my Raspberry Pi 3. You know, this is filled with PlayStation, no problem, but it can't handle a Sega Saturn, unfortunately. And it's just Sega Saturn is just so complex, whereas it can handle Dreamcast with no problem. So if they could get Sega Saturn emulation right, like in-house, and make it affordable, like at like $80, I would buy like 9 of them. I would buy like 9 because the Saturn library was amazing. You know, you just got so many beautiful classics. Exclusive games. They wouldn't even have to go with other games. They could just stay with Saturn exclusives and it would just be insane. And the community wants it. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I think that the closest they're going to get is it's similar to, you know, a Raspberry Pi 3. It's the Odroid XU4, which is a lot more powerful, and you can somewhat emulate most Sega Saturn games. But even then, that's like an $85 single board computer. People are not going to, I don't know if they're going to, if they can keep the cost down, I guarantee they'll make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah, but then you got to go with quality versus quantity, because if they choose cheap parts, then it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
If you want the good stuff, then you're going to pay for it. But to be honest, I want to pay the honest price what Sega says, not the scalper price of 3 times that original price. That's my only thing, is I don't want to deal with scalper prices. I want the honest price.
Absolutely, and I agree tenfold. I think it would be something to see. I know right now in the market, and I actually just ordered one, so I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. There's this for the Sega Saturn. It's where you can open up the Sega Saturn and you can modify where if you remove the lens itself and you implement it's like an ODE, Sega Saturn ODE, where you can actually play Sega Saturn games from an SD card. You just plug it in, you have like unlimited access to most of your Sega Saturn games. It's called the Fenrir.
I've seen that. It's bad.
Oh yeah. So I have it. I'm waiting for it to come in from UK. When it does, I'll definitely do a review and put it on my channel and kind of run it through the wild, because I have so much Sega Saturn to test on it. But it's only compatible with Sega Saturn Model 1, the original model Sega Saturn. But if we can get that up and running, Sega Saturn's bad. I think it's like one of the coolest systems ever. It's so underrated. I don't know why it gets such bad press. I mean, I know they had their issues. I get it, but like, we gotta get a Sega Saturn Mini going for sure.
We did.
I was following Spawn Wave, and he was saying that that there was a lot of developers kind of hinting around like different hardware SKUs and different things, and Sega was just dropping different hints of things on their sites. And he says that he's not sure if they're developing one, but it looks like they're in the works of something right now. Like they may be working on something because, and he was saying that it would be cool if they just came out with a whole new system, because back in the 90s, the problem they had with Sega wasn't the games, it was the hardware and it was the management. The management were fighting against each other, so they couldn't actually commercially sell because of the management. So now that they got better people working for them, they got better developers, they're able to get more out there and there's better hardware. So who knows? I mean, if something comes out by Sega and it's hardware and it's new, man, I think that would be super cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they've always been so innovative, they just, I don't know, they've always kind of been ahead of the game. I think it's kind of, back in the 90s, it seemed like being ahead of the game kind of worked against them, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But even like, I can grab it here for you. I've got my original 1996 Nintendo Switch here.
Oh, wow.
Everybody knows what this bad boy is. This is almost
Switch.
Almost mint condition. Almost mint condition Sega Saturn. Oh, Sega Saturn.
Wow.
Sega Nomad. This
I
bad
know
boy,
what it is, a Nomad.
Yeah, complete with my NBA Jam TE that was in the back of it. So
That's crazy.
This thing is innovation, because the thing was, you could play it. You can play it in hand, full cartridge, or you can actually plug it to your TV and play it that way. And you can plug in your Sega Genesis controllers. So you got your controllers here, and you can plug it right into the Nomad. And these things go for a lot on eBay, but especially if you find it in good condition. The thing is, the battery life on this was absolutely terrible. I mean, this 2 hours max. Just like the Game Gear. Yeah, but it was like the original. This is where Nintendo got their idea for the Switch, like where you can have it portable, or you can connect it to your TV basically and play it that way. So they've always been ahead of the curve in those things. So it's unfortunately they released this. It was limited, but they released it at the end of the Sega Genesis life cycle when Saturn was kind of doing their thing, and so people didn't really get to appreciate it as much. But if you think about it, like, man, even like
release it.
Yeah, and even like the Dreamcast, like we were talking about, being able to, play online and all that, have online capabilities before their time,
You should re-release it, Sega. Everybody would buy it.
It's like Field of Dreams.
Yes, if you build it, we will buy it.
Exactly, I agree. All right, Retro, do you have anything that you wanted to go over? Any news or anything, or?
Yeah, what we're talking about right now kind of hits on like all curves. Like we're talking about how Sega was innovative, but again, it's like they didn't have the management skills to be able to take it to the next level. And if they would have stayed like on board and ahead of the game, they wouldn't have dropped in the early 2000s. Where like Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast were kind of like trying to come up, and then there comes PlayStation. Drop. Mm-hmm. But they were smart though, because they didn't drop out of the game completely. It was cool that they actually, like you said, QA, they were very innovative in the respects is that they went in the software side. So early 2000s came along, they were just like, okay, well, what do we do next? And everybody's like, okay, wait. We got Sonic on GameCube. We got Sonic on Game Boy Advance. I mean, it was floating around everywhere, all kinds of Sega titles. So they just kept turning the curve where they lost all the hardware. They kept going back, always back to the software. And it was always interesting that, like we had said earlier, you have Sonic now on the Nintendo Switch. You have Sega, the Sega Ages collection on the Nintendo Switch. So if you're like a Sega fan person, but you're also Nintendo, now you have the best of both worlds. And they also have, they have Sonic games that are playable for the Nintendo Switch. Sonic Racing. I forgot that one.
The Olympics game.
Yeah, Olympics.
Yes.
I have that one. And there was another one. It's for both mobile and Nintendo Switch. I forgot, but I'll get back to that later. But either way, it's really cool how they innovatively kind of turn things, and instead of fighting with Nintendo and competing with Nintendo, they're actually working with them to be able to promote their own products. So they're promoting within and still making money. So I thought that was cool that we didn't lose out, us 90s kids, we didn't lose out on Sega completely. We still have a bit of the past, which is cool. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now take that same information, go back 20 years. Could you imagine if what we see today we saw back then?
Oh.
See, that would be kind of tough because like we could as 90s kids, we could go back and say, hey, check this out. You know, I was born in 83, so I was kind of, if you will, grandfathered into all the gaming arcades and stuff. And if we took this to Sega and said, hey, look, don't work against Nintendo, work with them, they'll be like, who are you? What do you know?
But I know more than you know.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know more. Hey, go find me a DeLorean, and we can all go back to the 80s.
Back
Find
to the future
Sega.
Reference.
Yeah. Take me
That's
back 1985. I have a shirt that says that. You know?
Oh.
Hey, Lizzy, is that a Sonic drink you got there? What do you have there?
Yes, it is.
Did you just make that, or why we were?
Yes, it's
Sonic.
based
Is that
off
the Sonic Boom drink?
Yes, it is.
What did you put in there?
Okay, so in this drink, it adds for orange and peach flavor. So you want to go to any, unless you're underage, you gotta ask your parents. You have to go to a liquor store or maybe like a store that carries these kind of things. These are non-alcoholic. First off, these are basically drinks to put in your like teas or your snow cones. So you can find this on eBay or Amazon, or if you have like a liquor store, you can find this. Specifically, you want this flavor, blue
Curacao.
Corco, yeah, because it tastes like oranges. That's what specifically that recipe says. This is more rare, they told me, because it's white peach, but you want this one. And you're just going to put like a couple pumps of each one. You add a nice cold Sprite. You add a lime, squeeze in the lime, mix it together, and there you go. You get Sonic Boom.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's really good, but on the downside, it's like a sugar high, which is why it's called Sonic Boom. Because you will get a Sonic Boom. You will sip, and then you will crash.
Oh no! Hey, give that to somebody's kids.
That's funny.
Why they were selling it for kids. It's actually a kid's drink. It's non-alcoholic. So kids were able to buy this at the movie theater also. And it comes with this really cool straw. They actually gave me a whole bunch of these. So that and like tons of these cards. I mean, like a bunch of them. So if anyone wants one, let me know.
Sounds good.
Glad to give you one.
For sure.
So Lizzy, I have a question to ask you.
Yes.
And I feel like you might have answered this when you were going through everything. But what is your all-time favorite Sonic game?
Let's see. Definitely Sonic Spinball is like the most. Basically, Sonic Spinball is the most challenging one. The most favorite is Sonic 1 because that's the one I fell in love with first. But Sonic 3 and Knuckles holds a special place in my heart because I spend like up to 3 hours just focused on Sonic. So those 3 hours all to myself with Sonic. That's actually probably like my most ultimate favorite game. It's probably the Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Was there ever a Sonic game that you never beat?
Let's see. Well, okay, so for me, this is how it went. Oh, sorry if I burp, it's not on purpose. It's for the Sprite. But I beat all the Genesis games except 3D Blast because it ticked me off. But I beat all the Olympic games.
Okay.
I haven't beat Colors or anything after that. Sorry. It's because I lose interest. And the thing is, it's not because 3D games suck. And this is something I want fans to know. I don't hate Sonic 3D games because they suck. Because of my learning disabilities, because of the brain tumor it took at me when I was a little girl, I get dizzy when I play those 3D games. It goes too quickly and I lose focus. So I start to get nauseous and sick and I have to stop the game. So it's not that I don't like the games. It's I haven't been able to beat any 3D games. The only Sonic games I've beaten are the Genesis era, Sonic Dash on my mobile phone, and the Olympic games. That's it.
Okay.
So that's something I wanted folks to know is not that I hate the games. It's just health and medical reasons. That's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think I've I'll tell you what, I've beaten 2, I've beaten 3. Sonic and Knuckles, to be honest, I've never beaten Sonic and Knuckles, and I've never beaten Sonic 1.
What, are you stuck in the water level?
Probably. Come
Okay.
on.
You got called out, QA. You got called out, bud.
Here's my
look at
Sonic and Knuckles cartridge right here for you guys.
Yep.
Send that
I
my
got
way.
mine too. That's tight. I
Again?
still got mine.
Again, Sega with the technology, the lock-on technology, where you could put a cartridge on here and play, Knuckles in Sonic 2 or Knuckles in Sonic 3. I mean, Sega was always ahead of the curve when it came down to technology. They were always experimenting with stuff. Sometimes bad, sometimes good. Sega 32X was probably not a good move if you were gonna have Sega Saturn coming out so soon together. Because the 32X was supposed to be like Tower of Power, exactly. I mean, the 32X,
the whole stack.
yeah,
I got my Tower of Power still.
Oh, that's a collectible. You better hold on to that one.
Yeah, I am.
Tower of Power.
My Tower of Power is the Sega CD combo.
Yeah.
It's still in the box is a little bit damaged because it's old, but it's in box still with the Virtual Fighter and everything still in
Ooh,
Oh,
there
nice.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, good stuff.
Let me ask you, the Sonic 3 Knuckles, did you do the thing where you took out the cartridge and you put in the other Sonic game and you realized no way,
Oh
and then
yeah,
you figured out
I tried to do
code?
the Sonic one, Sonic Part 1,
Sonic
putting it in
he's
there,
waving the finger at you.
and he's like, no way. I'm like, oh, come on.
And then you find out there's a code. All I gotta do hit the code and ooh.
gotta love hacks. That makes it a lot of fun.
It's interesting how you can do ROM hacks, the homebrews and stuff. How you can have Knuckles and Sonic 1 with the homebrew. But
Yeah.
I tried using it on that and it just doesn't go. I'm like, come on, the hardware.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever played a Sonic game made by a fan? So like not something that was developed by Sega, but made by an actual fan, or like a modded Sonic game by any chance?
That's a great question. I have never, but there's a lot of really good homebrew fan-made Sonic games. Amazing games. There's even one. I
actually played one. It was totally built from the ground up, and it wasn't a homebrew. It was their own Sonic 3D game. And the level designs were super cool. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it in our feed later. But it was built from the ground up. The enemies were super cool. I mean, you have to have a really, I want to say, high-end computer to run it, or a good graphics card, because it had like 8 levels, so it took some time. And all they were asking for was you didn't have to pay, but give like a small donation of like $2 or $3, and that was it. But it was so worth it. It was very awesome. And I'll put you guys in a link later in the feed.
Yeah, I would definitely like to check that out.
And the homebrews are cool because there's, like you said, BlackPKMNTrainer, there's some ridiculous homebrews. I saw one where they had Pikachu as Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, are you kidding me?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, one of them, the tail actually like moved, and one of them he spun like Sonic. The only thing I wish they would have done with that though is when he was spinning, he looked like Sonic, so they needed a little bit more of that yellow action.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they gotta get one with Jigglypuff on there. That'd be awesome.
I feel like those side-scrolling games would be awesome for Pokemon. Now that you guys bring it up.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I have to say, there's been one particular. It's not a mod. So you guys all heard about Sonic 06. Easily one of the worst Sonic games in the franchises. That's what people think. I actually love it. But there's a group of people who are actually rebuilding the game from scratch, and they're fixing all the issues that they had with the gameplay. And that's been something I've been following for a while, and I am super excited for it once they finally finish it, if they get to that point.
Now, let me ask you something for 06. Did you have a problem with Sonic and Human Girl? I mean, I feel if I didn't have a problem with her, but I just feel she was an idiot. Like, if she was smarter and had better personality, and like the character just didn't look right. Like, are you guys missing color? Can you put something on her, make her look more realistic? I don't know. But what do you think?
She was kind of, her personality was kind of black. Like, she was boring. She was stale. Like, I'll admit that. I don't have an issue with Sonic, like, and having a love interest with a human. I don't care about that. But if that character could have been like have a little bit more personality, that would have been awesome. One of the reasons why I like that Sonic game so much is because it has a darker story.
Mm-hmm.
It has a very serious story, which is like always been like my kind of thing. Definitely not like my favorite Sonic game, but it's in the top 3. And it's mainly just because of the story. If anything about a game that can get me, it's always the story.
Yes, a good story sells it. If it's one of those, I don't know what's going on here, make it stop.
Right.
I want to watch it more.
And the soundtrack, which, by the way, the Sega team, like, just from beginning of history of Sega, they always had a good soundtrack on their Sonic games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on any of their games, really. I mean, Sonic games are cool, and then I'm not going off topic, but just to hint on it a little bit, the Streets of Rage series, all of those two had Sonic and Streets of Rage had really good soundtracks. They've always been notorious for having very awesome soundtracks.
Mm-hmm. And being able to incorporate multiple styles of genre. More recently, being able to incorporate multiple styles of genre to pull in gamers from different backgrounds and cultures, which I always thought was awesome that Sega did.
Yeah, if you guys are really into awesome like orchestra soundtracks, like for like the Sega Saturn, for example, Panzer Dragoon. I don't know if you guys have heard of that series, the Panzer Dragoon series for Sega Saturn. Like every background song for every level is just like really like deep. It's like you're watching a movie or playing an actual movie. It's so intense and it's like gorgeous, you know. Especially the first Panzer Dragoon. I love the music for the background for that. But really good stuff. Yeah.
What other topics did anyone else have a topic?
I'm asking Jim Carrey.
Dr. Robotnik.
Okay, what version of Sonic is your favorite? Because we have Genesis era, Dreamcast era, you know, the games, the cartoons, and now the movie Sonic.
Retro?
Oh man, which version of Sonic?
Yeah, because I mean we have so many now.
That's a good question.
I mean, there's like the original's cool, but I felt like when they took it into like 2000s and they made him more anime-ish, where they had like his actual, I call it the spine of Sonic, but it goes all the way back, but it's real kind of pointed. It looks really cool when he runs. So instead of spinning, he glides and his hair just goes straight back. So it's more anime-ish and it looks really super cool. Not to take back the original, but in the 2000s when they did that, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it. And then seeing the gameplay and the mechanics of it, I was like, that is actually pretty cool the way they did that and they incorporated it that way.
I feel like my favorite song is actually going to be from one of the movies that came out. I think Retro actually might even be talking about this not too long ago. It was a movie when it was Sonic versus Metal Sonic, and it was more like an anime style. It came out like maybe like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And that Sonic is personally my favorite Sonic. One of my favorite Sonic movies up till recently. And I thought that Sonic was awesome. His seriousness, his demeanor, but at the same time like chill, like, you know, can pop jokes and whatnot, and like always just trying to be there for people. Like he even tried to see the good in Dr. Robotnik in that movie, and that was one of my favorite Sonics.
you can't beat J. Lil White though. He
I
was
know
the voice
Jill
of
White.
Sonic.
I met him.
I was real partial to that because I grew up watching Family Matters. So when he was the voice of Sonic, it was like, that's Steve Urkel. That's like Sonic and Steve Urkel
Yeah.
in like one shot.
I used to love that cartoon series. I was a
Yeah,
big fan
no,
of
it
Family
was really
Matters
cool.
too. Good
But
stuff.
when you took the blinders off of the Family Matters, you were like, when you went back to Family Matters, you're all, no, that's Sonic. And you just
I
close your
know,
eyes,
that
you're
was-
just listening, you're all, where's the blue face at? Where's the blue face at?
I think for me, either the original Sonic from Sonic 1, I like him a lot, and I definitely like the new Sonic a lot too. It's one of the two or both. I just like them equally because I just like the whole new look and the whole new feel, the comical feel of new Sonic and of course from the original. So yeah, both.
Especially in the 2020 games, which is kind of interesting considering we didn't have a proper Olympics because of the pandemic, and I thought it was cool that they still went forward with the game. His look in there is really cool too.
Did you
Yeah.
get it? Have you downloaded it?
Oh yeah, no, I bought the physical copy before the pandemic hit, so I actually got
No, not the Mario and Sonic at Tokyo Olympics. I'm talking about there's a Sonic Olympics on the iPhone and Android.
Oh yes,
Did you get it?
I did. It was kind of different, like because they didn't work together with Nintendo, so they made their own. So I was kind of missing the whole Mario and Sonic action, which it was cool, but it was all right for me.
It was a good stress relief when I played the Tokyo Olympics with like Nintendo characters. Because if you're ever mad at Mario, you can have Sonic in the boxing level.
Oh yeah, yeah. You sit there as Sonic or Tails or Knuckles, and you're like, hey, Mario.
For sure.
So Lizzy, there's actually a couple of questions that came through in the chat.
Cool.
Someone asked you if or what is your favorite voice actor, or who is your favorite voice actor for Sonic, if you can name them by any chance.
Jill White. The original Sonic, sweetie. That would be Jill White.
Joe White.
Yes. He is Steve Urkel. I didn't know he was Steve Urkel, and I was a huge fan of Family Matters until my sister goes, you know, that's that little black kid on Family Matters. I go, who? And she goes, no, go watch it. You love Family Matters. I sat there, saw Sonic, read the credits with his name on it, paid attention, went back and watched Family Matters, and I'm like, you're Sonic? But I met him a little while back in September. I met him because he was here in Texas. I met him. Oh, that was awesome.
It literally like destroys like a character for you, because like once you get used to like seeing someone's voice or personified in one way, and then like you see them in a different role that's 100% different, you cannot stop seeing them in a previous role, but that's what you're used to seeing them as.
Yes.
And there's one particular, like there's two shows where that happened with, and like when I went to that second show, I was going back in time. Like I looked at this character because in his previous role he played a villain, and like I cannot take you seriously, bro.
Like he's too sweet to be a villain.
Yeah, exactly.
He's too sweet. When I met him at there was a Texas con here. It was called like Big Texas Comic Con or something like that. But he was here back in September. But I met him, and I hugged him so tightly. I mean he on this nice suit. I feel so bad because when I ran up to hug him, I put my hands under his jacket, wrapped my hands around him, and
That's
he's
great.
like, he puts them around. He goes, see, this is a real thing. And I wanted to cry, but I tried my best not to cry. But he was just so sweet, and he would always be like that, like just all gentleman, like just the sweetest guy. He knows who I am. He knows how much I love Sonic.
That's awesome.
So he was a really awesome guy. I want to meet him again because I have some Sonic Adventure stuff I wanted him to autograph, but I forgot to pack that stuff. And I was like, dang it, I forgot to pack it because I had a gift for him. I forgot to pack it. But I bought one of those little pixel thingies that you can make with beads. I bought a couple of those and I gave to him as a gift. I told him, I'm so sorry. I had something for you and I forgot it. So I bought him something of Sonic so he can remember me by. But yeah, Jill White's my favorite.
That's cool.
That's my Sonic, sweetie.
Did you ever by any chance read the Sonic comic series or any of the Sonic comics?
Yes. I grew up with the Sonic comics. Back in 1993. That's when my major brain tumor surgery happened. So the comics actually helped me learn to read again. So I've been reading them since 1993. That's when they came out with Archie. Read them over time. I took a long break because I was getting sick and tired of Sonic and Sally rubbed in my face. So I went back and read them off and on, started to read the IDW comics. So I have almost all of them because I'm a bad girl. There was an auction that Goodwill was doing, and they were selling 6 boxes of Archie comics, of all Sonic comics. I'm a bad girl. It was about $300 I spent.
Woo!
I won the auction though.
Wow.
For 20 years of Sonic comics.
Oh
So,
man.
They were like, well, this girl really wants some, and the other person was like, shh. Yeah, I'm not gonna compete with that. So let her go. $300 for 20 years of Archie comics. Would you do it? Of course you would.
Yeah, I can't really give you smack for it because I spent over $7,000 on my YouTube hobby building computers. So we all have our guilty pleasures.
Yes.
I hope my wife didn't hear that.
Oh, you're in trouble.
You're fired, bro.
My dad saw the bill. He was like, you have your own job. Just pay your bills. If you're gonna buy Sonic stuff, pay your bills first. That's my dad's biggest rule in this house is you love Sonic, I love Sonic. Do whatever you want. Pay your bills first, make sure you feed your cats, keep your room clean. Then you can have your Sonic stuff. That's it. That's the only rule my dad has. Good daddy.
I would say for me, I just want to mention right away, just since when I was a kid growing up with Super Mario and all that Nintendo, and I remember a time where I don't know what it was. I needed something different. I didn't know what it was. I was probably around 12 years old or something, and I would always get so excited. My parents said, we're going to Sam's Club.
Oh.
Okay. And I'm like, we're going to Sam's Club. Oh, shoot. I could not wait to get to see the Sonic on display. The first Sonic game they had always on display for you to try out. And they had it there for a long time display. And I would go there every single week, every time, and enjoy how awesome the game was and just how it brought that just when I think of it now, man, those times were some of the best times as a kid, just to realize, this new passion of, okay, I'm doing all this jumping around with Super Mario. I'm not going to go fast with this new guy named Sonic or, this Hedgehog. And it was just something, again, that helped me out too through life and things like that and gaming and so forth. But again, those moments were some of the best moments gaming wise. Again, being a Nintendo fanatic, but just also loving Sega and Sonic at that time period. And it was just, again, an incredible feeling to just always want to go there just to go try out the display, even though I never really got the system. I got the system later on, but not around that time. I did not get it. My parents, or I didn't ask for it, but I just wanted to go there and just play the same level over and over again. Again, I still do it now. I just love
what level was that?
The very first in
Green
Sonic 1, the very first one. Like the first 3 levels, especially the first one, is just, even as I play it now, it's just the same feeling as I had as a kid. So I can definitely appreciate those moments in life.
Green
It's
Hill,
that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of Green Hill, Marble, water level, right?
Which one?
No, I was thinking in my head. Green Hill, Marble Zone, Labyrinth Zone.
Yeah, the Green Hills, of course. Yeah, the Marble Hills, I got a little harder there at that time.
Would you like me to teach you how to beat it?
You can tell us all how to do it.
It all depends. Well, maybe I'll do a video. I can show people, hey, look, you can go 2 ways. There's certain jumps you can make, but you got to be patient. The problem with people with this level, with Labyrinth Zone, is people move too quickly. You can't move that fast in the dang water. You got to be very careful because if anything hits you, oh, this is Sonic. Very slowly going back. So something can move faster and hit you. So you got to be very careful not to let anything hit you, and you gotta look for those little bubbles. But people
Lizzy,
forget that.
You were mentioning earlier about the Sonic Olympics on mobile. Did you ever try the Sonic 4 when it came out on mobile?
I tried. I think I beat the first act or something because I remember the scene where I beat something and Sonic jumps on the plane and he points the tail and goes over there. And I lost interest. I don't know why. There was something wrong with Sonic 4 on my iPhone. I don't know because my iPhone was upgrading or what, but it didn't stay with me long enough to want to play it, to continue playing it.
I told my wife what they should have done was, instead of having, because there was Sonic 4 and then there was Sonic 4 Episode 2, which is an extension of the game. They should have wrapped it up because that's the first Sonic where it went from Sonic 3 as a physical to Sonic 4 as a mobile digital. So those people that don't, video husband, oh, sorry, I'm looking at something. So where people haven't normally got to experience it right there, they got to experience it on mobile, but they should have ported it on a physical port, which is like PC, I think, PC or Nintendo. But it's a cool game, but it's that touch screen. People, the original 90s people like us, we like the physical controllers where we're actually playing Sonic. So when you're trying to do it on mobile, it's okay, but it's not the same. To me, it's not the same.
It's not even like on your iPhone, how it has like the controllers appear, that messes with my head because I don't like to see them like that. It bugs me because sometimes even if you hit it, the touchscreen isn't good enough, so you have to buy that physical controller, stick it on there. Sometimes it doesn't work either. I don't like that. I like to hold the big giant Genesis controller and be focused and be happy. Don't change that on me. It took a while to get used to the Wii controllers for the eShop. I actually had the Sonic games on there, and it took a while. And as I'm playing, I'm sitting there like, okay, there's something different here. There's something really evil and demonic here. I'm playing a Sonic game with a Nintendo controller. Explain this to me. Then here comes the GameCube. Same thing. There's something weird, really weird, because mentally you're like, it's your Sonic game, but you're like, this is Sonic on the screen. This is a Nintendo controller. It throws you off. I mean, it can really make you go.
Did they ever have a Sonic cereal? Do you know?
Yes.
The Popo Funk one, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Damn, she got the Funko cereal.
Yes. This is the next one.
dope.
This is gonna go to somebody.
So we need to figure out how she did this so quickly.
She was prepared.
She said,
no.
As soon as someone said Sonic cereal, she was like,
that's so dope.
That's awesome. That was so awesome.
Hey, she has a teleport right there where she's all, what do we talk about next?
It's funny though. Me and Lizzy we're popping all these random like Sega props. Like here I go.
Oh,
Super Street Fighter for the Sega here.
You guys are using that chaos control ability apparently.
Yeah.
Got that NBA Jam right there.
Did y'all get those? The Pez Pops that came out?
Hold on.
Oh nah.
Yeah, they came out.
Mr. Switch about to grab something right now. He's about to get his Sega.
I know, he
beer.
just got up out of his seat.
He's
That's
like,
all I got.
"Give me
That's all
something."
I got right now.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Switch.
That's it.
He's all, you ain't got nothing. Check this out.
For sure.
Let's see.
I can show you guys my Steam library. I have all my Sonic games on there.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow. Oh, I have something that I think some of y'all might. Well, no, I don't think everyone has it. Come on, some of y'all probably have it.
Oh,
man.
Woo!
This one's turned off right now, but you know, it was kind of cool. I also have something that's Sonic Sweden. This is still in the box, and believe it or not, it still works. He still works.
Wow.
But this is. Let's see. I forgot where you hit it. Where do I hit you? Oh, you're telling me.
My God.
Can you hear that?
That's a vintage. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
That's a
and he's still in the
collectible.
box.
That's awesome.
And he's always gonna stay in there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So my grandkids go, "What the heck is that? Why isn't it out of the box?" I can't take it out of the box.
So have you like counted how your collection, like, 'cause you have a really awesome collection back there. Like, have you like counted how many stuffed animals and like figurines that you've
Any
got?
fast food toys? Somebody asked.
Fast
Yes,
food
I
toys, a good
do.
question.
I have fast food toys. I have the McDonald's. I
Ooh.
have the Arby's. Not the Arby's. What's it called? The Jack in the Box actually had Sonic toys. That was actually
Oh.
given to me by a friend of mine. There are Arby's Sonic Boom toys, but I haven't found the whole set because like I only have like 2 Arby's here in Houston, and nobody had them. And then I have to look them online, but I'm trying to find the whole set. I don't want to be like, I'm not gonna do this. I have the toys. I have the McDonald's toys. I have the Jack in the Box toys. I have something that no one really knows. Subway released some Sonic toys, but they never did any advertisement for it. Nothing. You only knew they were there if you went directly to Subway or you looked at it on their website at the time. But it was four puzzle looking Sonic toys, and Subway had them. Out of all places, Subway. You would think Sonic Drive-In, they got a kids meal. You would think James Coney Island's got a kids meal, but no, not the hot dog people. No, it always goes to somebody else.
I feel
So
like Subway always has like stuff that nobody else does, but they don't advertise for it. So it's one of those
Wendy's
things where
also,
like, yeah, you're right.
I don't like Sonic. See, and this is what makes me mad. A lot of the Sonic stuff that is advertised or that we know because we're the fans, they don't advertise it. No, they'll spend the money to advertise Onward, Mario, Hello Kitty, whatever. But when it comes to Sonic, no, we were the ones who had to advertise, and that kind of ticked me off because I feel like more fans would know. Like, I'll give an example. My local Walmart, Sonic movies, poof, they're all sold out. And I asked, and I said, are these sold out because they're sold out, or are they being dumped in random places where kids go, I want this, and the dad says no. My store specifically said people been buying all the Sonic movies. Like there was only like 3 copies left, which is good for Sonic. But see, you see it directly there, you buy it. But I didn't see very much advertising for the movie that it was being released, except for maybe like DirecTV and Amazon and stuff would have like the commercials, but not too much. And then when it comes to the toys, when they're at McDonald's or Burger King or Arby's, they don't do any advertising. Not really. It's like they just blow it off and say, no, don't look at Sonic. Yeah, we got Sonic toys, but we're not gonna advertise it. Or like Arby's recently had Sonic toys, but it was on their website, but they didn't do any commercials for it. And I know Arby's does those those little tweets of like the cute little Sonic stuff. That's cool, but you don't do any advertisement on commercials. So how's the kids gonna know? Because not all kids have Twitter or Facebook or whatever, so they're not gonna know unless they see the commercial and they tell mommy and daddy, I want to go to Arby's, Sonic toys. And it's not fair too because there's only 2 Arby's and one of them was about 5 miles away from me, and I can't go to get those Sonic toys, even though my dad said, I know why you want to go, but there's no guarantee the Sonic toys are there because I've actually called and they go, oh no, we don't know what that is. Like, you people suck. You don't know what Sonic is?
You people suck.
It's like why do you work there and sell the toys? If you don't know what you're selling, that's bad. That made me mad. Especially when someone said, what Sonic?
I was upset. I was at the movie theater well, not really upset, just kind of disappointed. I'm there for Sonic day one. And then I'm looking for the big display so I can take a picture with the kids and the lady. And there was no display at the theater. I was like, man, what is this? Like, for all the major movies, there was a big display of advertisement. There wasn't for Sonic, but I was like, man.
You want to know what ticks me off? Some movie theaters did have it. Regal, Cinemark, AMC had some, but not all of them. I remember one of the Regal movie theaters I went to, I was looking for the Sonic display poster because I was told that they had the the one kind of like in the t-shirt I showed you where Sonic's sitting there with the popcorn, and you can sit next to him and take a picture. I wanted to take a picture with that so badly, but the people that Rio goes, oh well, what's that? I go, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that just came out today, and they're like, oh, that, yeah. Well, we already threw that out because see the movie already came out. We only do that for promotion, so now the movie's out, we throw it away. And I'm like, throw it away? Like, can I still save it? Can I have it? And they're like, no, we kind of destroyed it and threw it away. And I'm such a polite lady, but it took me so much to not go bah out of my mouth because it just came out like it was only the second day it came out. You threw away the display and you have stupid SpongeBob and Onward displays everywhere. No, come on. There's some hateful, racist people who hate Sonic, man. They hate blue. That's not cool.
It was interesting though. My boss, her second job is she's the manager at our local movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, because she was keeping me in the loop of when Sonic was going to come out. And I told her, I said, hey, can you let me know? And I said, are you guys going to have those cool advertisements I've been seeing online? She goes, oh, no, our boss opted out of those. Oh, what do you mean she opted out? And it was the manager and the assistant manager. I was like, what do you mean they opted out? And she goes, oh, yeah, we just opted out. We had too many displays. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know this movie's going to be hot. And she's like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. A couple weeks go by, and it was our top grossing movie in the movie theater. And I told her, I'm like, but you guys would have wished you kept that advertisement. She's like, no, but it would have sold anyway. I'm like, yeah, but what kind of a chance would you guys would have gotten to draw a bigger crowd, which people like us, we were looking forward to seeing that. And we're like, Sonic who? Like, where's the advertisements that we saw online? And I was like, man, opportunity. It was real cool.
Yeah.
Because I kept seeing it online. Look what our local theater put out, or look, I'm like, all right, cool. And I step in, I'm like, where the heck is advertisements? What happened?
Yeah, and but like I said, it depended what movie theater. When I saw the Sonic movie a week early, I met a beautiful, awesome lady who let me promote the Sonic movie at a few places, and I got to wear a really cool Sonic costume and all that stuff. She gave me tickets to see it a week early. That's where I got the Sonic shirt and the movie poster. But they had the display thing where Sonic's running with the kind of like that one in a way.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take a picture with it, but because of my height, I had difficulty. And the manager walked by and he was like, "Can I help you?" And I go, "Yeah, I just want to take a couple pictures with this and the other poster." He goes, "Okay, help me out." And then he watched me and he saw me. I kissed Sonic on the cheek, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cute." Took a picture. I'm like, will that lipstick stain stay there? And he goes, "Oh, of course. It's gonna be just funny when someone walks by and says, someone kissed Sonic." Come on, it was cute. For me, it was just a cute little like a cute little. I'm 5 years old again. Here's my hero. I kissed the display. I'm so happy. Made me happy. And from what I know, I also kissed the one at my local movie theater. And as far as I know, nobody wiped off the lipstick stain. They go, just leave it.
Just leave it.
It was probably, yeah, it belongs to some little girl. They really want to wipe it off. If she comes back here and sees it wiped off, she'll probably start crying. So just leave it.
All I can hope for is that both of the Sonics don't find out that you kissed both of them, because one might get jealous and start hurting the other one. You don't need that kind of.
No, you want to know what's bizarre in my room? There is no
Wow.
Mario in here. There's no Mario. There's no Mega Man in here. I one time had a Mario plushie on my bed, and I swear he was on the floor when I came home from work. I'm like, I think these things come to life when you're not around.
Had to be one of the Sonics.
Get off that bed.
He stays true to the blue.
Yeah, all the versions. They're probably all hang out with each other, like the Joyopolis one. The one, I have an awesome friend from Japan who sent me this from because it's got the Joyopolis thing from Japan.
Oh.
So he sent me this one. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all my Sonics probably fight with each other. Like, she likes me more. No, she doesn't. She loves me more. I know. This is one of my favorites. This is the 25th anniversary edition.
Oh.
So he's a cutie.
Is there like
But-
a favorite of all your collectibles? Something that just stands out, your favorite that you have like out of all of it, whether it's plushies or toys or something.
Probably. Well, these. That's gonna be hard. But the one that make me the happiest is probably I don't know if y'all can see it. Hold on one second. Can you see him up there? Sonic Boom? I mean, yeah, the Sonic Spinball.
Yeah.
And then there's that one.
Is that Mega Man right there?
I was just gonna say, does Mega Man have Sonic the Hedgehog on him?
Yes.
Oh.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Oh no, but I mean, like, see, like that poster. See, that one up there is actually one of the cells from the Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon.
That's
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so like those posters that are like from the 90s era that was drawn by a man's name I can't remember right now. He drew the North American style of Sonic. That's the Sonic I fell in love with first. So that Sonic's very special to me. And then of
Yeah.
course the most special is probably that Sonic plushie way in the corner is the original one from 93.
Hmm.
You know, the original Sonic with it's things like here. Hold on, let me see if I can reach him. This guy. Yeah.
Wow.
That's old school right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because see, he's got the thing that always creeped me out like this, and then his tail that made me go, okay, I don't understand that part. But this is the original, the one that doesn't talk. But this is the original, and I have both versions, the big one, and then there was a little one. So those are both very special.
I have that same poster as you. It's inside of my Sonic CD, my Sega
Mhm.
CD.
Yeah.
It's the one with the black border in the middle right there. That's the one I have it, but I have put it back inside the box because I had it up for a while, but I didn't want it to get destroyed, so I preserved it and put it back inside the Sega CD box.
Wait, which one?
The one on your wall right there in the middle of all of them. The one with
Yeah.
the Sonic 2, it looks like, in the middle.
Oh, okay. You mean over there in the corner?
No, in the middle, right there.
You mean Sonic
The-
Spinball?
Yeah, it looks like. But it's pretty cool.
Well, yeah. The Sonic 2 posters, they're wrapped up. They're gonna be put in their own cases. I also have two of, I think it's Sonic Chaos posters that were recently re-released on eBay. I have those, but they're wrapped up and they're under my bed. I'm very cautious with my Sonic posters, especially with like the old school ones. I keep them like so well displayed and preserved somewhere, and until I'm ready to put them in a nice frame, and then put them up. Because I have a really cool Sonic poster, and I don't have it here because I have to put it away somewhere. But it's from when Sonic 1 was released, and it's a really cool poster, but you could only find it randomly and it's inside the cartridges. You remember like back in the 90s whenever we bought a cartridge and we looked through all the things and we saw the cool little posters that were inside and the games that listed. Yeah, that.
Yep.
There's a really rare Sonic poster. Not Sonic movie poster, but a rare Sonic poster. And I have it put away. I have like two of them. They're put away carefully because I don't want anything to happen to them.
Preservation.
Yes, I'll bring them out later at some point.
All right.
Once I find the right frame, something that I don't want to see break.
All right. Well, it looks like I didn't realize what time it was. My God, time flies. We're almost at the 10 o'clock mark already. So I mean, I guess if anybody has any final questions or any final things that they want to ask Lizzy, or if Lizzy had any final thoughts or anything that she wanted to
I
share
wanted
with
to
us.
show y'all. Yes, I want to show with y'all. There are 4 different Sonic movie DVDs, so y'all know. First one. Well, actually, this one's open. Where are you? Come on. Nope. Wait, I know. Wait. This is the CD, the steel box. Without the stuff on it. On the back is
That's
Dr.
pretty
Robotnik.
cool. That's pretty cool.
When you
That's
open
cool.
it, it's actually got two.
Oh.
You get Sonic over here. And I think it was like the city behind the CD. That's the steel box. And you can tell the steel because it's kind of hard. This is the original. Like, it's got nothing. No digital copy, no nothing. Just the plain thing. That's what you got there. You got the Ultra K, which has the Ultra HD, the Blu-ray, and a digital. You got that. This one's even more special because guess what? You can kind of tell. This is it's kind of 3D-ish.
Oh, I see. It's nice.
So you got 4 versions, and if you paid attention, they did release the CD on Amazon.
Wow.
So you got that.
That's pretty cool.
And if you
That's
were interested
cool.
in the comic book, it's super adorable because it's all pixel. It's all pixel inside.
Oh,
Basically,
cool.
it's the Sonic movie made pixel version. Just
That's
so
neat.
people know.
Also,
so like, I have a few Sonic prizes I'm going to give out. 2 digital codes. I got 2 digital codes I'm going to give to people. Of course, the Funko cereal.
Wow, you giving away the cereal?
Yes, I have 3
What?
boxes. I can give away one.
What? You go, girl.
that's awesome.
We got
Okay,
people
so-
in the chat box did I say chat box, or in the comment section. Again,
Okay.
if you want to select anyone from there, we got, go ahead.
Let's see. I also got some of the Sonic movie prizes. Check it out, man.
Oh, that's neat.
Cool. They gave me this is like that rubbery stuff that you pull out and pick it out. They gave me one of these, with the ping pong ball. It's so cute. They gave me some little crayons too.
Sonic crayons.
I also got a few of the posters. So that's the one from, I think it was AMC. I got I don't know how many, but the other one, Loot Crate accidentally gave me 2. I don't need both, but it's a water. What do you call it? Now, warn you people, it is glass, so if you drop it, that's it. Just keep it as a display. Don't use it because it might rub off. Just keep it as a display if you want your collection. So I have 2 digital codes. Just to let people know, they are digital, so you're not going to get a physical copy of the movie. Make sure you have a way to watch it. I would hate for you to win it and not have any way to watch it. So you can either watch it on your laptop, if you have Amazon, probably not Amazon Prime. I don't know how the code works. Let's see. Oh, okay. You have to go to Paramount, put in this code, and select your preference service to redeem your movie. So when I give you this information, you can pick where you want it. You can have it on your TV, on the computer, on your tablet, or your smartphone. So enjoy. I have 2 codes for that.
So I guess maybe after the stream, or let's say you can either do it now or after the stream, you can kind of review the comment section, see kind of who was talking and kind of deciding who you want in terms of to decide winners. How many do you have? Or again, for that, unless again people are there right now. Are you able to see the comment section in the video?
I can't see any of that stuff. I can only see y'all.
So do you want to do it that way, like kind of review it and see, and then decide for anyone who?
Well, okay. So just so people know, if you win one of the prizes, just remember, if you're outside of the US, it might take longer to get to you because of customs. That is out of my control. I can only make sure it gets to you. But if you're here in the US, it's probably like 3 to 5 days, depending where you're at. So it's all cool. I'm trying to think what y'all can say. Follow me on Twitter. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah, in the description, guys, just so you guys know, in the description, guys, look down below is all our Twitter accounts, YouTube, and also on Lizzy's Twitter account also. So please follow her and see if you're a winner for her prizes.
Yeah, because I have a few, so I'll pick it and message you, and then that's why I ask you to follow me, because when I message you, you have to follow me first for me to message you. So that's kind of
I'll
the way
help you
my
out.
mic set.
After the stream, we can we'll talk back and forth, and I can see who would be selective.
So Black Pokemon Trainer put the link to Lizzy the Hedgehog's Twitter account, so you guys can actually find it right there as well.
Sweet.
Okay.
Oh, yep, there it is. So,
Okay,
anyone
thank
else have any last questions or anything you want to say before we end the stream?
Well, I guess that the last part, because I want to say it's for last. So people can know really quickly my story with Sonic. Back in '93, I had a brain tumor removed when I was 11 years old. They gave me about 2 weeks to live. I survived. I mean, thank you to the doctors at Texas Children's Hospital. The only difficulty I had afterwards was recovery, because I had to go back to school and start junior high school. And junior high school is no fun, especially when you are in recovery and you look different, all your hair shaved off, you're chubby, you're stuttering constantly, and nobody wants to be my friend. That's when my story is kind of similar to you, dude. My dad took me to Sam's and they had like the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo on display for you to play and sample the games. I never seen the Sega Genesis before. I was so sick and focused on my health, I didn't know Sonic existed in 91 or 92. That was the first time I saw him. And there was something different about the Sega Genesis controller versus the Super Nintendo controller, because I could actually hold the Sega Genesis controller. The Nintendo and the Super Nintendo controller were really tiny. And at the time, I was in, of course, recovery, and I couldn't hold on to things. I needed something that could, give me, hand-eye coordination. And the Sega Genesis controller did that for me. The Sonic games really helped me focus. I did play other non-Sonic games, but honestly, 90% of the time, it was Sonic. Of course, I got bullied a lot in school because I looked different. So that's where Sonic became my best friend. And that's pretty much where Sonic came into my life, was given 2 weeks to live, beat it, started school, got bullied. Here comes Sonic. And I've kept Sonic pretty close to me ever since. Can't say I love every Sega game that Sonic made. I'm going to be honest. I can't say I played them all, and I can't say I like them all. But overall, I love Sonic. He means the world to me.
Sonic was there for you, so.
Yes. And I wanted people to know that whatever version of Sonic that's out there that you like, and you be happy. Don't do these stupid Twitter fights, all this garbage. Who cares? You love Sonic, whoever it is, whatever game it is, you're happy. Just like me. I mean, I love the Genesis era. I love that Sonic. That's the first Sonic. But that's the Sonic that I fell in love with, that made me happy, that was my best friend. He means everything to me. I've learned to love and accept Sonic, all the different Sonics along the way. That's cool too. I love movie Sonic. I think he's super adorable, and he reminds me of the original Sonic. So folks, you love Sonic, that's awesome. Keep loving whichever version you love. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, that's stupid or that's dumb. Who cares? Love Sonic. Oh, and wear your stupid mask, people, please. Be healthy.
I've been watching your Facebook post. Yeah, people they need to be more protective out there. So yeah, right.
I'm going to follow. You guys ever watch Lowbrow? That version of Sonic. I love that Sonic. At the very end, Sonic's like, and wear your mask, because Sonic loves you, you big jerks.
It's funny that you said wear your masks, because Mr. Switch and I were playing Animal Crossing, and he gave me a mask in Animal Crossing. He's all, dude, you're gonna want to wear this, and I put it on.
You gotta stay 6 feet apart from each other. One of us gotta wear a mask, so I made him wear it. So
it was funny.
Yeah, that was good. That was good, man. This was a great stream. I appreciate Lizzy for Lizzy Hedgehog for stopping by. Definitely was interesting to get to know you, and again, as we all brought our Sega Sonic love here together. Usually we have other topics, but this was a great day for a great topic because Sega, I would say, is I think they got something around the corner. It looks like they're gonna come back on top. They've always been on top, depending on your heart and how you feel about Sonic. So it looks like we got some good stuff happening. So again, as much as we all love our different choices, we still love Sega and Sonic. So again, great movie. And again, thank you for stopping by, Lizzy. And last minute, guys, anything you want to say before we go to Lizzy, guys? Or are you guys good?
I think we covered everything. It was a really fun conversation, and happy 60th anniversary, Sega.
All right.
Happy 60th.
All right,
Sonic turns 30. Oh my God. Sonic, you turned 30. Next year.
1 second.
I turn 30 next year.
30? Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm young. Y'all gotta remember.
Never ask a woman her age, so you can't know that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
That's a retro. That's what you said last time, right?
Yeah, I did actually. I said that a real gentleman never asks a lady her age.
All right, guys, I'm gonna end the YouTube part here. So everyone in the comment section, thanks for stopping by. We had a good time again for Oscar, Mr. Vaca, and everyone else who. Let's see if I can call out some names. Tetsu stopped by. We had Zach. Trying to scroll down. I'm kind of slow with this. Everyone else who came by, there was one Sloth Boy. So, all right, guys, thank you for stopping by in the chat and great stream, guys. See you guys next time. It's Mr. Switch. This is Lizzy Hedgehog, Retro, QA Ninja, BlackPKMNTrainer. See you guys next time.
All right,
guys. Have a good one.
Care. Thanks, Lizzy.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Lizzy, good night.
All right.
Good
Bye.
night.
I'm staying connected.